Imagine an organism with high-tech communication. This organism interacts using an information superhighway that allows for communication across species. Everyone works together, sharing information, food, and water, to develop a thriving world that helps even the smallest survive. Am I talking about some form of extraterrestrial life? Or maybe something a little closer to home? Well, if you guess that I'm talking about trees, yes, that's right, those things with a trunk and leaves, then you hit the nail right on the head. Because when it comes to these guys, there's a lot more going on than meets the eye. Hey y'all, and welcome back to Science Put Simply. Today, we're venturing into a fascinating topic. How do trees communicate? And if that wording just put an image of Ents in The Lord of the Rings into your head? No? Just me? Okay. Well, anyway, it's actually not too far off. 'Cause yes, you heard that right. Trees talk to each other. Have I sparked your interest? Let's find out more. We often think of trees as solitary beings, alone in their forest. But the truth is that they're part of a complex and interconnected community. And they've evolved a complex communication system that is actually key to their survival. So then why don't we see it? Well, it's because a lot of the action happens underground. Trees communicate through a network called the Wood Wide Web. And no, I'm not kidding about that. The term was coined back in the 90s when the internet was new and shiny, and people still referred to it as the World Wide Web. Get it? World Wide Web, Wood Wide Web. Scientists have a sense of humor too. Anyway, this Wood Wide Web can exist because of a fungus that grows between trees, connecting them together. And this fungus is known as mycorrhizae. Now, mycorrhizae is a general term for fungi that have a mutualistic relationship with plants. In this relationship, mycorrhizae help plants gain water and essential nutrients in return for sugars provided by the plant. In many forests, mycorrhizae form large fungal networks that connect roots from different trees together. Through these networks, trees can exchange nutrients and other resources, as well as communicate with each other about dangers in the area. It's literally the internet for trees. The Wood Wide Web allows larger trees to share resources with smaller shaded trees that are unable to get enough sugars from photosynthesis. In other cases, trees in nutrient-rich soil can share resources with other ones in nearby areas where the soil isn't as good. Even more impressive, dying trees will use the network to transfer their remaining resources to nearby trees. This distribution levels the playing system and improves the overall health of the forest. In addition to resource sharing, the fungal network allows trees to communicate about potential threats. If one tree starts being attacked by a pest, drought, or disease, then it will tell others through the mycorrhizae that connect the trees together. This warning system allows nearby individuals to activate defense mechanisms before the threat reaches them. And what might be even more surprising is that this interconnectivity occurs between different species. For example, Douglas firs and birch trees have been shown to exchange resources as needed if one is covered by shade and thus less able to photosynthesize. One of the coolest things about this system is the existence of mother trees. This term was coined by Dr. Suzanne Simard to refer to the biggest, oldest trees in the forest that are particularly known for sharing their knowledge and resources with younger trees. Research has shown that young trees that are connected to a mother tree are much more likely to survive and thrive than those that aren't. Scientific American stated it best when it said that these trees are literally the glue that keeps the forest together. These systems don't always work perfectly. At times, dominant trees will exploit the network to gain more resources than they need, and then hoard them so other trees can't grow as well. There are also some parasitic plants that will siphon off resources from the network without sharing anything in return. The Wood Wide Web may be made up of trees and fungi, but their dynamics can still be just as complicated as ours. The other thing to know is that the Wood Wide Web is fundamental to forest health. The ability to share resources increases a forest's resilience to environmental stress and increases ecosystem stability. And this may make what I say next a little difficult to hear, because anthropogenic forces are harming the Wood Wide Web. Deforestation and changes in land use to make more room for agriculture have destroyed it in some places. Furthermore, if trees are replanted, then there tends to be less species diversity. Often, trees are planted in monoculture to be harvested later. This reduces the number of fungal species present and, in turn, reduces the ability of the Wood Wide Web to share resources and mitigate disease and pests. This concern is only further exacerbated by the use of pesticides, fungicides, and herbicides that can also harm mycorrhizae. There's also concern that shifts in temperature and precipitation due to climate change could impact the distribution and functioning of the mycorrhizae that are essential to this interaction. Not all fungal and tree species react the same to changes in their abiotic environment. Let's say that tree species A can only work with fungal species B. Well, if fungal species B doesn't survive changing temperature and precipitation, then that will also reduce the ability for tree species A to tap into the wood wide web. And this is just one of the many ways that this system could be affected by climate change. This is where we end with the good news. Scientists have shown that increased ecosystem biodiversity often mitigates negative effects associated with climate change. By better managing our forests, we can help preserve this crucial forest network. Next time you walk through a forest, remember it's a bustling community where trees are constantly chatting. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more bite-sized science. And I'll see you in the next one.